Hi guys, it's Joy, and I know I've been doing a lot of the Trisha Paytas and Shane Dawson coverage as of late. It's sad that it's turned into Trisha Paytas and Shane Dawson because I believe it was Trisha Paytas and Hair by Jay, which was associated or hired by Jeffrey. But Trisha has turned this all into Shane because watch my videos. So I wanted to shake it up a little bit because this is somebody that I've been following and I put it off for the last week because I thought this was an interesting topic and I wanted to cover this. But now we have some more information coming out about Eugenia Cooney. So as most of you know, if you haven't seen him, go check out. I have a few videos I've done on Eugenia Cooney. Links will be in the description. Links will be up here. Make sure and go check those out. But Eugenia still seems to be very heavily in denial. And not only is she in denial, as I've been kind of going over some of the issues that could be going on with her, she now says basically that Jaclyn Glenn didn't help her, didn't save her life, and that without Jaclyn Glenn, she would be here, she would be fine, there are no issues. I know. And there's been a few different things she's been saying lately. She's also been talking about how rehab wasn't really helpful for her and can be dangerous, and her weight gain and some different things. She has a lot of different topics she's been talking about, but I thought I really wanted to focus on this one. And one big reason is because, as we know, Jaclyn Glenn is supporting a petition with Pastel Bell and a few other YouTubers saying that they want Eugenia Cooney either removed or at the very least demonetized until she gets better because she's influencing her audience, which it's one of those things I could see argued both ways in this situation, right? But let's just go ahead first. I'll play what Eugenia says and then I'll give my feedback on exactly what I think. And you know, at the end of the day, I just hope whatever help she needs, she gets it. That's all. That's really all I want. So let's take a look at what she has to say.
Do I think I would be here? Yes, I do. I do think I'd be here, Nay Babe. I, like, you know, you guys don't know everything going on with me in my life, but I already had, like, you know, like, my family caring about me and other people caring about me, reaching out to me. I do not feel like I had to be put in the position that I was put in to deal with things on my own. And I feel like, if anything, it put me in a much worse mindset and actually affected me very negatively, being honest. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely think I would be alive without what she did. Absolutely.
Is it just me, or does she kind of come across resentful of the fact that she had to go through the program, even though what kind of bothers me is when it serves her benefit, she'll talk about, I went and got help. I decided to take the step to get help. Well, she's always, and look, I think she's a nice girl, but I do think she's lying and gaslighting when she says that, because at the end of the day, we've seen so much resentment. First of all, she didn't go. As that said, Jaclyn made her get a 5150 and forced her into a month's worth of treatment. That wasn't because her family was concerned. In fact, from what Jaclyn has said, her mother was screaming, everybody was mad and trying to get Eugenia out of this situation. So I don't know. Eugenia says, I needed to go take care of myself. I did it for me. I'm so happy. I'm so much better. I took the steps. But then she didn't. She was 5150 because Jaclyn Glenn went to get her the help. And she seems really resentful, which is just, it's one of those things to me where it's frustrating and it's equally parts sad when it comes to this situation and when it comes to Eugenia, because I feel like there's still a lot of delusion that Eugenia's under. And I'm not saying she's like necessarily mentally ill delusional, but I mean, like, she just really doesn't want to see the reality of her situation. She also says, I would have been fine because I have friends and family that care about me. If your friends and family, and I'll say specifically, and I've done videos on her mom and some of the different situations in her family, but if they really cared about her, why weren't they the ones to get her the help after seeing her deteriorate? We've watched her mom in videos make fun of how thin she is and kind of make fun of her body. We've watched her mother make her literally in the middle of like a department store in the aisle, like not necessarily get naked, but strip down to her underwear to put something on instead of going into a changing room. I don't think she can use the argument, I have friends and family around me. I don't see how she can use that argument when none of them have stepped up to actually get this poor girl the help that she needs. Now, one thing that she constantly says, and I can agree with her here, she says, we don't know everything going on. And I have been an ardent defender of that from day one with Eugenia. The problem is she is literally just disappearing in front of our eyes after having gone to rehab. She did a whole thing with Shane about how great it was, and now she's in treatment and she got help, but then also throws everybody under the bus that got her help, but then says my family was taking care of me. Again, it's just a lot of delusion, and she really thinks at this point, had she not, she seems to be under the impression me and my family would have gotten me help on my own had Jaclyn not done what she's done. But at that point, guys, she wouldn't admit to her audience that she had an issue. In fact, the way it is, she still really won't admit she has an issue. She just keeps saying, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better, all while she is continuing to lose weight. And it's very, very scary. So that's where it's stuff like this that kind of makes me feel like there's some, unfortunately, there's some kind of delusional chips going on there. She also says she doesn't feel like she should have had to have been put in that situation, even though nobody was getting her help. And she also says it kind of made things worse for her and put her in a worse mindset. I don't know. I'm really not trying to be negative or bash or hate on Eugenia. I think most of us actually, we really like her and we care for her and we see that she means well. But just because somebody means well doesn't mean they're not lying. And here's the thing. I also get her wanting to stand up for herself, and I've been a real champion for that, right? Because she has been so kind of passive aggressive, and there's so much what a lot of people are calling positive toxicity or toxic positivity, right? Which I think all of those things are true. I think I could be wrong, but my assessment just from what I've seen, which is going to be really limited because we don't know her, right? I think she's an extreme people pleaser. And it seems like even though she says I have people around me who care about me, none of those people stepped up and did what Jaclyn did. And she'd been going through this, guys. We've seen the progression. This has been going on literally, this is not an exaggeration, for years. Years she's been in this position and it's just getting worse and worse. And I think even though she's a very nice person, this, toxic positivity, right? She is just trying to have everybody believe everything is okay. And what's hard is she wants us to believe her now. But how can we believe her now? How can we believe her now after in the beginning and going through this, she said there was no problem. And then there was only a problem when Jaclyn Glenn 5150'd her, but she got the help. But she's mad that Jaclyn Glenn did it. She shouldn't have had to do it, but she took the steps to get the help. And now she's fine. There's nothing wrong, although she looks worse. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If there's some other medical condition that is making her look that way after admitting to having eating issues and having to be forced into treatment, I think she has to come clean with her audience. Otherwise, when she's cosplaying, modeling clothes, doing clothing hauls, and possibly getting paid for all that, she is being a really bad influence on her audience. I'm going to hold out hope that I don't think that's her intention. The problem is, it's still happening. Now, I can understand some resentment towards Jaclyn Glenn simply because Jaclyn has just gotten behind a petition to try to remove her off the internet, which I will be honest, I have not backed. I mean, nobody's asked me to. I'll also be honest there. It's not like anybody was like, please, Joy, we need your small channel to back this. But I looked at it, and when I looked over everything, and maybe one day if you guys want, I could sit down and go through it all. First of all, I don't think you can ban her for that because even what people say she's body checking, well, first of all, that's subject to a person's opinion. What one person could see as body checking, another person could see as a nervous tick. And there's nothing necessarily about body checking, within Twitch or within YouTube. They do talk about you don't want to promote things that are harmful, but she's not outwardly doing that. The things that look harmful could be open to interpretation. So, and I'm not saying people are wrong about their assessment that Eugenia is body checking and doing all these things. I'm not even saying that that's wrong. What I'm trying to say is that there's no definitive proof for a platform to kick off a moneymaker like Eugenia. And I've also said this before, it also bothers me. The majority of the women you're going to see on YouTube have either had an eating disorder or have one. You're just not seeing them be as thin as Eugenia for a myriad of reasons that in my videos I've gone into. Do we start kicking them off? Do we start kicking off Nikocavo Atticado? Do we start health policing people? How far does that go? I've watched the mob be wrong and scream to cancel people. We've seen it. I get the concern. I'm just worried about the Pandora's box. And with this toxic positivity stuff, Eugenia has a hard time standing up for herself, or sometimes it seems that way. And with this petition, she has been standing up for herself, and she has been saying things about Jaclyn and saying how she feels. And regardless of whether or not we agree or disagree with her statements, I like seeing her stand up for herself. I just wish that whatever is going on with her, because I'm not going to sit here and say it's ultimately this or ultimately that. I'm not her doctor, and I know what that feels like to have people come at you that way. I just have a video about Peter Mon where I talk about that he's one of those people that he would say, I would never say what her health issues are, and then would do these little body language things or other statements that were passive aggressive right after that to tell the audience I don't believe her and to create a sense of bullying around me. Check out that video if you're interested. I don't ever want to be that to somebody, you know, especially Peter Mon says he's a counselor, he's a psychotherapist, and that's how he treats people who are chronically ill on YouTube. I really hope he never had chronically ill patients. I really don't. Especially women, you know, he's super left, and that's fine. Be whatever you want, right? I'm not knocking being left. He's super left and for the little guy, but I guess women with chronic illnesses, they can take a back seat to Peter Mon and his meanness. I digress. Sorry, guys. But it drives me nuts when people try to assume they know somebody's health. I don't know Eugenia's health. You don't know Eugenia's health. We only know what she has said. And what she says is, I've had an eating issue. I've had an issue with not taking care of myself. Then she says she got help, but she didn't. Jaclyn forced her into it, and she's mad at Jaclyn for it, but she's happy she got the help because she took the steps, even though she didn't. And she keeps this narrative, everything is fine. Everything is good in my world. I'm just fine now. I like that she's standing up for herself. And let's be honest, did this petition go anywhere? No. And this is also, and Eugenia has said this is not the first time we've had petitions on Eugenia, right? We've seen these petitions before. They come and go because they're going to need some concrete, like actual proof, because if they don't have it, it could look like they are discriminating against Eugenia. This could be a case for discrimination. And even though, you know, these social media platforms like YouTube and Twitch, I don't think they really care as much about getting in legal trouble. They're also not going to necessarily jump into it, right? So I don't know. And then the other thing about the petition was it wasn't clearly outlined. Well, what are the specifics about her being allowed to come back? Does she have to violate her HIPAA records and show her medical records? Does she have to get a doctor to sign off? So we're just going to demonetize her because of something we think that she's doing without 1,000% accuracy. And then there's no actual way to prove that without actually violating her medically. This is why I've said with Eugenia, I really feel this is a tough, touchy, tricky subject. And I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all situation. This is a very gray situation of what do you do with it. I agree. I think she's negatively influencing her audience, even if she doesn't mean to. I would like something to be done. I just don't think there's anything that can be, which is exactly why, all of these reasons why I did not get behind the petition. And unfortunately, it's gone nowhere. I've had people reach out and there were rumors that she had been demonetized or at the very least age restricted. I went and checked that, and I'm not a tech person at all. Right? I'm not a Twitch person. I'm not an any person, but I at least kind of know how to do that. I didn't see any evidence of that. So what sucks is when I look at these petitions and these things, it kind of looks to me like, and you know, I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm not saying this is what it is, but I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like maybe some YouTubers are trying to get attention off of Eugenia. And maybe they care too. I'm not saying they don't. I've made a ton of videos. I care about this. I'm invested. I know a lot of you guys are. But I think that petition ultimately, I think, was going to lead to nowhere. But then let's play devil's advocate, right? Maybe Jaclyn Glenn actually really does care, and so many people have put this ultimate responsibility on her to fix her. They've done that with Shane, too. And I can understand people's frustrations with what Shane put out about Eugenia. I can get it. But I don't think it's fair to put this ultimate responsibility on either Shane or Jaclyn about Eugenia's situation. But maybe this was Jaclyn's way of being like, people think I should do something. What am I supposed to do? I've been kicked out of her life. She now talks crap about me. She went public and lied about me, this, that, and the other. I went through a traumatic experience trying to get her help. Maybe this is the last ditch thing I can do, A, to try to get her help, and B, to shut people up from blaming me. And in that, I mean, I can disagree with certain things, but I can understand why she would do it, you know? And, you know, it could be a way to get attention, help her channel. Or maybe not. Maybe she's getting a ton of crap for the Eugenia thing. I don't really know. I'm kind of speculating here. And I'm just being totally honest in the fact that I'm speculating on this. So, you know, regardless of what is going on, it scares me that Eugenia thinks that she would be fine and be here had she not gotten help, even though she really uses that. I went and got help on my own, like in the Onision documentary, when it's necessary and needed. So, I don't know. What do you guys, this is a tough one, but I hope she gets the help that she needs, whatever that is. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Sound off. Also, if you like this video, help me out. Give me a big thumbs up, like the video. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit notifications so you know when I upload different things and you can hear different perspectives. I try to give as many perspectives. Doesn't always work, but I try to be as unbiased as I can. I like Eugenia. I just want Eugenia to get help, but I also want to protect her audience, but it has to be done in a fair way. And unfortunately, I think this might be one of those situations. Sometimes there's no fair way to do things. It sucks, but welcome to this world, this planet, this life, right? Yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, I'm going to get more content ready. Take care, everybody. Blessings to you guys. If you want to see more on Eugenia, like I said, I have a ton of videos. Go check out my links in the description. I'll have links in the cards so you can see those as well. I have a playlist on it you can go check out. It's going to have a lot of good information, not just on Eugenia and what she's going through, but health across the board for women and eating issues. So love for you to see that, check that out. And if you want to, share this content with people you think it could help. I would love to reach as many people as possible. Okay, guys, gonna go get some more stuff ready. But until the next video, take care. Blessings. As always, I'm wishing everybody lots of love. I'm giving you guys hugs, mwah, and kisses. Bye, guys.